So normally on this channel, we sell you the dream. We sell you the setup that, I don't sell it to you, but we show you the setup that I use to where we have the most effective helium mining possible. Well, today we're going to sell you the nightmare and why every time we take one step forward with helium mining, we take 2 to 3 steps back. So stay tuned.
Copper, come here. Look at that. Someone bought a t-shirt. You got a treat. Someone bought a Shut Up Copper t-shirt. Okay, bye.
Nerdy dude stuff. For those of you keeping track at home, today's beer of the day is brought to you by Green Bench Brewing out of St. Petersburg, Florida. This is a nice, hazy, double IPA called Testing Batch Number 2246. So it's made in very small, limited batches with a limited release, 8.2% alcohol by volume, made with Citra, Nelson Sauvin, and Idaho 7 hops. If I had to describe this, it would remind me of a nice, juicy IPA, but it also tastes like I'm eating it with pizza. So, weird description. Probably a 7.75 out of 10. So, cheers to you guys. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video about helium mining. If this is your first time on the channel, please take a moment to consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on the bell notification as we post videos weekly. And we do a stream every Monday about helium mining and antenna placement and some best steps and things and stuff and crap that you could do to have more success when it's not a crap day like today. Now, on the channel, we're going to be probably, you could say it's fun, but long story short, I'm not trying to turn you away from helium mining. It's just all the videos that I do are the positives and the journaling experience and, hey, look at me, I'm making so much helium and I'm so rich and I can retire. None of that's really true. So we're going to look at some stuff today where it's the other side of that coin, where you're going to have these crap days. You're going to have these lulls. You know, on this channel, when we do our streams and when we talk about perfect setups, and I'm talking a lot with my hands right now, I should just hold the beer like this. That way I don't flail my hands everywhere. But normally on the channel, what I commonly say is that if you can get yourself about 2.5 to 3 helium in a 7-day spread or 10 helium in a 30-day spread, I consider your setup to be successful. You can do everything on God's green earth to make your setup perfect. You can have the best cables, LMR 400 or LMR 600. You can have the best antennas. I usually say the 5.8 or this 8.0. You could buy those in the description of this video. Or the best height and the best line of sight to other antennas. But crap like today, with the helium network essentially being blacked out, is going to hinder you. So you could be perfect. Unfortunately, helium's not. And this isn't like other mining experiences like with actual GPU and ASIC miners, where if the pool goes down, you can just switch maybe to another pool to make sure your miners are staying active. I've been wanting to take a sip of that for so long, but I'm sitting here just holding and talking. So with that said, we're going to talk about some of the downswings in this helium adventure that we're on. This is going to include helium mining with the issues today. This is going to include some things that I'm finding funky with helium staking. And this is also going to include, that's about it. Because I was going to do a HIP 39 video today, but I decided to bench that and maybe push that off tomorrow to do this negative video, because every time I go look at my helium miner, it's either on a red or a yellow light with the occasional green light. So let's jump over to the computer screen and just show you the flat line that we're looking at and some of the things that are frustrating and the actual negatives onto this side of the helium project. All right, let's jump over. As of right now, helium is going for $45.23, and I think we see a little bit of the drop because of the issues that we're experiencing today with the helium blockchain. But we're overall still very happy with this price, considering how much we have mined in the past few weeks and how much we have currently holding on staking. So now that we're done with that, let's move right along, shall we? So first things first, we can go over to the Helium Status Twitter account, and they have a couple of updates. As of 20 hours ago, the Helium Network status, they identified the blockchain as halted due to a bottleneck related to large number of transactions. That's good. We're using the network and we're transacting on the network, but if they haven't developed their network to handle these large amount of transactions, then really what's the good of the blockchain? So we're going to be a little bit negative about that. This outage impacts POCs, proof of coverages, challenges, beacons, witnesses, etc. The team has identified the issue and is working on a fix ASAP. And as of an hour ago, the core Helium devs, the validating community, are working hard to restart block production. A new validator release will come out shortly. Those in the consensus group, please join us on the Discord, blah, blah, blah. So essentially what that means is right now we're not producing another block in the blockchain to continue mining into earning on those crypto, and our proof of coverage miners and all that stuff aren't earning diddly squat, which we're going to see in just a second. Now, this is also a little bit later, but I know people were trying to get that minted rack miner that came out today, and there's other stuff on there, which we're not going to talk about. We did not try to get one of those. We're really not going for it. The next miner, and we've said this before, that we are going to be getting and we're going to be hands-on time with is going to be the Miles Site IoT UG65. This was about $720 previously. The price has now jumped up to $838. If you do want to get one, there's still very, very small amount of stock because everyone's buying the racks like crazy because they're all promoted everywhere else, but there's still a small amount of stock available in this current batch to get by the end of January, and then they'll probably order another batch for February/March. Use code NERDYDUDESTUFF down in the link so you can save yourself a small percentage. But this will be the next miner that I will be unboxing and showcasing as well, probably towards the end of this month. Now, why would I want to get more miners when in the past 24 hours, my two miners, this one here, I don't even care about the witnesses around it, and then this one up here, have flatlined. Are we going to see it? Yeah, we're going to see it. Okay. So right as we finally get ourselves up to that 30-day time frame where we're earning over 10 Helium in 30 days, you can see this thing is completely bottomed out and completely flatlined. We're going to go into our 7-day stretch as well, and you can see right there it's completely flatlined. Now, this is set up in my garage with a 25-foot cable running up to the attic with a 5.8 dBi antenna in the attic, providing coverage everywhere. You can buy those in the link description. But when I work out in my garage, and I can actually see my miner. And during my workout, the red light kept popping on, so I rebooted it. Then the red light came on, then the yellow light, and then it went green. So it's been going green, but it's not necessarily the fault of this miner. It is obviously the fault of the Helium block being halted at the moment, but it's just really frustrating because I didn't know that. I woke up, sent my daughters off to my in-laws, got my workout going, did some work, had some coffee like before I got into my crypto portfolios, and I'm watching this go red light, green light, yellow light, and then I'm watching this flatline here. And especially it was weird because that flatlined yesterday and my one at my in-laws didn't flatline just yet. So I was still looking at earnings here. And this was just after the stream that we did yesterday. I was still looking at earnings on my in-laws miner, but now after we're 24 hours from yesterday's stream, we have officially flatlined, and that's been driving me nuts. The reason why I say that I feel like the Helium network is one step forward, 2 steps back, is because every time we get going, and we did a video about this a couple of days ago, where we saw the highest numbers that we had ever seen in our mining experience. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Past 7 days? Yeah, I think 7 days would be accurate. I mean, I'm glad the Explorer is working, but, you know, a couple of days ago, we saw numbers like 1.91, 1.95. Those have been the highest numbers that we have ever earned mining. Look at that. Those have been the highest numbers we have ever earned mining. And then all of a sudden, a day or two later, we have flatlined. This has been the common trend. Every time I post a video with a clickbaity title and a clickbaity thumbnail saying, oh my God, we're making so much Helium, the next day it's like open mouth, insert foot, and the network just craps out. Whether it's a new OTA that comes out, and we know that Bobcats are bad with OTAs, or it's the blockchain going down, or it's a update coming out. It's something that keeps screwing up the network. Now, normally, like I said, if you want to get like a big ASIC miner or a GPU miner, you just kind of direct it towards a different pool or a different coin or anything along those lines, unless the actual piece of hardware craps out. Whereas Helium, there's just so many issues that, you know, they sell you this idea that it's going to be plug and play. It's going to be the, you know, coverage, the people's, you know, proof of coverage, and you can just kind of do your setup and go. But I have to micromanage this more than I have to micromanage my little ASIC that's down at my feet, or more than I have to micromanage one of these. I always have to keep track of it. I have to go and make sure that my wires are still like plugged, and I have to go up in my attic and make sure that my antenna is still pointing straight up in case maybe, I don't know, a screw decided to start loosening out because we had a thunderstorm the other night and it vibrated the house. Or I have to go to my in-laws and make sure that that antenna is perfectly straight up versus a windstorm blowing it over. Not to say that I install stuff really poorly, because I don't, but those are the things that run through my head. So it's been driving me nuts. Now, On the other side of the coin, when I've earned all my, the most positive thing I could say about this experience is how much this token has increased. So instead of selling, I did sell 8 tokens to get into deeper mining, which I could talk about deeper mining in a future video, but I've been moving all of my tokens and all of my earnings, with the exception of 18 of them, over to Helium staking. And on paper, every time I go to the staking calculator, this platform looks awesome and I absolutely love it, and I would encourage people to do it. But when we look at numbers like this, so we're going to go into, before the other day, November 13th, we put 13 Helium in, and you look at our mining numbers here. We had our staking numbers. We had a reward of 0.002, a reward of 0.005, a reward of 0.003. And this is when we only had 21 Helium staked, and then 0.0009, 0.0005. So on paper, when you go into the calculator and say, I'm going to put 12 more in, it gives you these amounts of helium that you could potentially earn. So then the next day we earn 0.0004. That's obviously less than everything I just went over. And then after that, we earned 0.004. And then yesterday we earned 0.0001. I'm assuming that this might potentially have something to do with the block and everything. But at the same time, why aren't we earning more? Like, you put more helium in, you would assume that you're going to be earning more. And I've seen this before too. So when we only had 12 helium put in there, we're earning 0.002, then we put in 9, and now we're at 0.003, 0.005, 0.001, 0.002. These numbers here don't make sense because we're adding to the value. If we're getting an 8% APY, those numbers should be technically going up, right? So I'm not just trying to sit there and say, like, don't go into the helium staking. Like, absolutely consider it if you just want to tuck your helium away and not touch it. I just want to show that there are bad sides to these coins that might drive you nuts. Like, this is kind of sitting here making me think maybe I should pull my 34 helium out, which is currently sitting at the price of, we're just going to do basic numbers, it's at least $1,500 worth of helium. Maybe I should go and buy myself $1,500 worth of SHIB. So if that ever goes up to like a nickel, I'm a millionaire. I don't know. That's just kind of my thought process. But obviously, as soon as I pull out that 1,500 in helium and put it over to SHIB, SHIB's going to take a dump, and then helium is going to then like double in price. So that's just the way the nature of this game goes. So I don't know. This video is more of a rant, I guess. Like, more of, this is the daily experience that I go through that I don't just put on camera in front of you guys. Like, yeah, I want you guys to enjoy, to jump in the platform, to put more helium miners around my location so that way our network grows. I want you guys to buy t-shirts. I want you guys to buy antennas. I want you to buy shit from MileSite. Like, that's just how it is as a YouTuber, instead of really doing a hard, raw video journal on my inner workings and my inner thoughts. I guess if I was more of like a video game streamer, that's exactly what you would see. So that's just me being raw, uncut, the other side of the coin, and the frustrations of being in these projects. You know, when I do like Deeper and Planet Watch, and I'm fidgeting on my phone to get these things set up and these linked up and going through all this trial and error, maybe I need to record that so you guys can see what I'm going through. Just turn on the camera, be candid, and just go. I don't know. Maybe it's something you want to see. Leave a comment below. Otherwise, anywho, thank you for listening to me rant. Thank you for listening to me bitch and moan. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me on Telegram, Twitter, or Discord. Those links are in the description of this video. I do believe the Discord's still good. I saw a comment yesterday saying that it wasn't, but I double-checked and it looked like it was good. So please let me know in the comments of this video if I need to redo it. Otherwise, like, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, all that good stuff. I'm O'Price, and we'll see you guys next time. Just a last second update. The vertigo is essentially gone, so thank you very much for the positive comments on that. And also, Copper is doing much, much better. We finished his antibiotics yesterday, and he's still got some panting going, so we have a couple more steroids we're going to give. Ooh, excuse me. We still have some steroids we're going to be giving him for the next couple of days, but his spirits are a lot better, and he's actually starting to get his appetite back. So thank you very much for the positive comments and the thoughts and prayers and everything for my broken-ass self and my grumpy little beagle. So thanks, guys.